Hello there, good day, and welcome to This Week. This week is where I bring you news tidbits from Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today on This Week, Auditor General goes after some lecturers, and of course, we get to find out some interesting stuff about the just ended 3 Music Awards and the state of affairs of the trial of Derek Chauvin, the police officer who knelt on the neck of George Floyd. There's and many others coming up shortly. Do stay tuned. We will be right back. On to our very first story. The Auditor General released its 2019 report for some institutions, and these institutions include the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration (GIMPA) and Sunyani Ho Cape Coast Technical Universities. These universities are in great debt according to the report, for the reason that some lecturers who went outside to study have failed to either serve their term in the university or pay the amount that they have to pay to the university. Per this report, it revealed that there is a bond, and in this bond, after going outside to study, you are mandated to serve for 5 or 6 years, and any reason where you can't serve, you're supposed to pay the amount plus interest for all the expenses that were incurred during your process or during your study. And these universities in question, for example, Takrady University, there were some lecturers who were still receiving their salary even though their study leave with pay had expired, and so these universities are in great debt and should recover from it some way somehow. And to the lecturers who took these study outside, if you have taken this study leave and for some reason you can't continue, why not make it known to the university so that the amount that you're supposed to pay would be given to you for you to pay, rather than vacating your position in the university. And so to these lecturers, please do well to pay the amount so that someone else can benefit from it. In some other stories, Ken Ofori-Atta, the finance minister, after a 2-day vetting, was approved by consensus, and a section of Ghanaians this came as a shock to some Ghanaians, as they expected the minority to reject this man as finance minister, because since his appointment as minister for the finance ministry, they have been on his case, and so it came as a shock. And the General Secretary for the National Democratic Congress, in an interview, revealed that it was a decision that was made by the NDC, and also their second term could be capitalized on for future elections, that is 2024. And I find this interesting for him to say this to Ghanaians. It tells me that these people do not care about us, and they are only interested in being in power. And so their main focus is not to serve us, but to serve them or to satisfy their selfish gains. And it's really sad. It's really sad that such a comment or statement would come from the National Democratic Congress. And for that matter, Asiedu Nketia. Also, in some other stories, government is going to build constituency offices for members of parliament, and for this project, an amount of 45.5 million Ghana cedis is going to be used for this project. And for the first phase, 70 MPs are going to have their constituency offices built for them, and then these offices will be constructed annually, and so by 2024, all 275 constituencies would have an office in their constituency. this is a good initiative. It's a very good one. I mean, some of these MPs do not even appear in their constituencies after they go there to appeal for votes and all of that. And the only time you would see them is after 4 years, when they are coming to plead with the constituents to vote for them. And so these officers are going to help them to be well stationed, and then give them representation, and also give the constituents an opportunity to get closer to their MPs, instead of having to go through several channels before they even have to meet with their members of parliament. And so this is a very good one, and it's a very laudable initiative for the members of parliament. But the problem is, some of these constituencies are outside Accra, and so these ones that are outside Accra should have very stable internet connection to help in their day-to-day activities. Do stay tuned. When we come back, we look at what is happening at the African and international front. In 2019, former President for Ivory Coast Laurent Gbagbo and Charles Goodey were acquitted of responsibility of crimes including murder, rape, and persecution. The judges said that the prosecutors failed to prove their case during the trial. Earlier this week, the International Criminal Court upheld their acquittals on charges of involvement in a deadly post-election violence. And if you remember, these post-election violence led to the 3,000 death of some citizens in Ivory Coast. And so this is what is happening at the African front. And now to the international front. In May 2020, the late George Floyd was arrested for allegedly using a fake $20 note. And we saw a video circulating on social media with a police officer kneeling on the neck of this man, with him saying, "I can't breathe, please, I can't breathe." But this police officer paid no attention to that until this man was left unconscious. And this gave rise to several protests on social media in America. Even in Ghana here, there was a vigil that was held for this young man with the hashtag Black Lives Matter. Now, earlier this week, the trial for this police officer started, and a video was shown to the jury which saw the police officer actually kneeling on the neck of this man. And this was retrieved from the body cam that was on the police officer when he arrested the late George Floyd. And there were images of George also being treated in the back of an ambulance, where he was on the back of an ambulance was also shown to the jury. And so far, the police officer in question, Derek Chauvin, has been charged with unintentional second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and manslaughter. And this means that for unintentional second-degree murder, he could be facing about 40 years in prison, and then for third-degree murder, he could be facing 25 years, and for manslaughter, he could be facing 10 years. And there is also a likelihood that if all of these, if this trial goes in favor of George Floyd, we're looking at 12.5 years sentence for Derek Chauvin, the police officer, per the sentencing guidelines. To some entertainment stories, 3 music awards came off last Saturday, and this spectacular event got Ghanaians talking, from stage to the lights to the everything, in fact, everything. And congratulations to all the winners, especially the Artist of the Year, Kitty, And these are some of the things you should know about the awards. About 1,000 people worked directly on the show, from directors to producers to the band, etc., etc. And you could tell from the output that a lot of work went into this particular event. There was good planning in place, everything was on point. And the value for this award is about 6 million Ghana cedis. Wow, that's some money there. That is some money there. The performances that were shot on different sets, the opening performances, all totaled 300,000 Ghana cedis. And as it stands, there's an outstanding debt of 3 million Ghana cedis. And you should also know that there were backups for the extras, and every performance had its producers and bands and stage performance and all of that. So this is all about the 3 Music Awards, and you could see that the output spoke for itself, and the producers, the CEO, everyone did an amazing job for organizing such a splendid and spectacular event. Up next is the COVID-19 tip of the week.
Welcome to the COVID-19 Tip of the Week. Today on COVID-19 Tip of the Week, I will be sharing with you some symptoms of coronavirus. These symptoms have been grouped into the most common symptoms, the less common ones, and serious ones. To begin with, the most common symptoms include fever, dry cough, and tiredness. The less common ones are pain, sore throat, diarrhea, headache, loss of taste or smell, and rash on the skin. The most serious ones are chest pain, difficulty in breathing, or shortness of breath. Whichever symptoms you happen to experience, please seek medical attention. And that is how you protect yourself and family and friends from contracting the deadly virus.
And so this has been This Week with me, Didi Davis, proudly sponsored by Wired Studios. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to also subscribe after watching this episode. Thank you for staying tuned. Catch you same time next week. It's bye for now.